We've got to talk about this GM recall. A new report this morning, Manu, that indicates that there may have been hundreds of deaths associated with the failure to recall these cars.
Yeah, this is a big problem for GM. I mean, the Justice Department has opened up an investigation that could lead to either criminal or civil charges into General Motors for, it's a decade-long failure to address safety concerns in a number of its vehicles, namely the Chevy Cobalt. This all relates to the vehicle's ignition system. There are concerns among federal investigators that GM knew about this and didn't disclose this in a timely fashion as required by law, and that they actually may have lied to investigators. So this is an investigation that's ongoing and certainly couldn't come at a worse time for GM, at a time when it started to rebound and started to pay off all of its auto loans from the auto bailout, and now all this negative scrutiny is going to be coming forward.
Margaret?
Look, the auto bailout is creating its own really weird, complicated problem, which lawyers and the administration are both going to have to figure out how to work their way around. But as part of the bankruptcy arrangement, there is some thought that GM may be shielded
because it's the new GM. It may not have the obligations of the old GM.
And this could be a real problem. Lawyers all over the country and in Washington now are looking at various legal strategies to argue around this because, criminal investigation aside, if folks are trying to go after civil penalties for this ignition switch problem, they may find trouble doing it.
And, this is also a real test for GM's new CEO. She's Mary Barra. She took over in January. She is the first female to head a major auto manufacturer, and she has said that she would cooperate with authorities. But I think a lot of executives, a lot of women are actually watching how she will perform under what is bound to be a very, very trying inauguration for her.
Scrutiny for GM, also some scrutiny for federal regulators, Manu, who failed to catch this problem that's been going on apparently for years, costing perhaps dozens of lives.
Right. I mean, what it relates to is that, in this ignition switch, if you have your key, a very heavy key or a heavy keychain, that it could actually disable the engine and disengage the airbag. So a very, very serious concern that regulators failed to catch and that allegedly GM may have failed to disclose.
So what's going to happen now? Who's investigating this and what's likely to happen next, Margaret?
Well, I mean, look, the Justice Department, this is going to be a massive federal investigation and then also a massive private investigation, again, with attorneys who have potential claims.
And a congressional investigation.
And Congress, yes.
We're seeing already plans for hearings in both the House and the Senate.